How's it going, everybody? It's SaltyTreecko, and today we are back with some more Pokemon Home, I guess, content. We're talking about Pokemon Home. Specifically, we're talking about the biggest threats from Pokemon Home. So we're going to be talking about the Pokemon that I think are going to find the most success, specifically in OU. Not going to be talking about Ubers. We're not going to be talking about any of that low-tier crap. Get that garbage out of here. I actually like lower tiers a lot more than OU, but we're talking about OU today. So I'm going to go through a bunch of the Pokemon that I think are going to be successful, and if not ban-worthy, we're going to talk about them. I'm going to give you the best sets so you know how to properly use them. I'm going to talk about some potential team composition, partners, shenanigans, stuff like that. So, starting off with Basculegion, who got absolutely shafted because it does not get well, it does get last respects, but last respects got banned, which in turn prevents Basculegion from being banned, so I guess it's a win, but I mean, it still kind of sucks because now it has to use Phantom Force because Poltergeist didn't come back. It's actually really sad. I was really hoping for Poltergeist to come back, but it didn't. So, there are two sets you can run with this, and they're both tied to its abilities. One is a choice, well, they're both going to be practically the same set, but the first one is the Adaptability Choice Band set. On this, I have Wave Crash, Phantom Force, because it's it's literally your best option for Ghost Stab, and then Ice Fang and Aqua Jet, but realistically, the only moves you're going to be clicking with this are Wave Crash and Phantom Force. I don't think there are going to be too many Pokemon that are going to be wanting to switch into Phantom Force, even if you do have the time to, the extra turn to think about it. I mean, like, Ursa Luna is really the major one, but then if it's not choice, you're going to be taking a Wave Crash to the face after that. So, it's kind of a win-win for Basculegion. But mainly, the move this Pokemon is going to be clicking is Wave Crash, because for context, Crawdon's attack is 120, I think? That sounds about right. They both have adaptability, but Wave Crash is just so much stronger than anything that Crawdon can throw. Like, it can go for, like, Crab Hammer, but, I mean, that's not going to do... Well, it's still going to do a lot, so goddamn Crawdon adaptability Crab Hammer. But Wave Crash is just so ridiculously strong, and that's why the other set I want to show you for this one is the Swim set. This Pokemon is kind of like stronger Floatzel, if that makes sense. I don't actually know... I think they have comparable attack stats, but then Basculegion also has the secondary stab, and then it has, no, honestly, that's pretty much it. So, so theoretically, if you wanted to run this in the rain, you could run like Adaptability Wave Crash, but this Pokemon is nice because it has a higher attack stat than Floatzel. I think Floatzel's is maybe like 100, you know, let's check. Floatzel. 105. So yeah, that is a significant jump, actually. The 112 versus 105 attack. So it's like the mediary... That's not a word. It's like the midpoint between Crawdon and Floatzel, right? Because you're not as fast as Floatzel, but you're faster than Crawdon. And you're not as strong as Crawdon, but you're... Well, actually, technically you're stronger than Crawdon because of Wave Crash, but you don't have Stab knockoff, and you have poopy Phantom Force instead. But it doesn't matter, you're clicking Wave Crash. So yeah, you can run Swift Swim. I think my favorite set is going to be like Adaptability, just because Adaptability, Choice Band, Wave Crash off of Stab, that's just like, man, like, damn, that's strong. Damn, that's strong. Don't know if I have too much else to say about Basculegion, so let's move on to Braviary. Now, Braviary is a Pokemon I've talked about before, and I've given it very high praise, and I have since reeled back that high praise a little bit upon remembering that it has 65 base speed, which is sad. The main thing this Pokemon is going for it is that it's ridiculously strong. It has two really good abilities in Tinted Lens and Sheer Force. My personal favorite, I think, is going to be Sheer Force, just because Sheer Force, Psychic, and Hurricane, like, this shit is going to blow anything up. Like, I'm pretty sure, like Fistoff Corv gets, like, fucking OHKO'd by Sheer Force Heat Wave, which is crazy. Like, Hurricane is just so damn strong. Plus, you got the Sheer Force, so it's like 100, which Sheer Force is like 1.3, right? So that'd be Hurricane's 110 times 1.300, and I don't fucking know, man. Math is hard, dude. I've been using a calculator for like the past 10 years. I can't do math in my head anymore. But point is, this thing is going to be dropping mons when it gets into the field. The problem is it's slow as balls. So you're really taking best advantage of this against defensive teams, and defensive teams don't really exist right now. But if the meta, once the meta settles, I feel like this one will be good. Another problem by it is that it's kind of stonewalled by Heatran, but that's where the other set comes in, which is Tinted Lens. And now suddenly you have a base 112 special attack, choice specs boosted, psychics and hurricanes, and honestly even heat waves, coming off of no resists, pretty much. And then you have U-turn in the back for momentum, which is nice. I think you could run either Terra Psychic or Flying on this. I feel like Terra Psychic would probably be a bit better, because not only does Terra Psychic and get rid of your weaknesses to Stealth Rock and also electric moves, which is good, but also Psychic is just more the reliable of its 2 stabs. And, ooh, I forgot to mention, this Pokemon does have a signature move in Esper Wing, which I feel like this could be cool on Tinted Lens sets. It's completely useless on Sheer Force sets because of how Sheer Force works, but it has high crit ratio and it raises your speed by 1. So, if you bring this thing in, you get your unresisted choice specs 80 base power stab attack off, and you get the speed raise, plus there's a high chance for crit, but whatever, that's here nor there. Main focus is speed raise, and TLDR, this is a speed raising move that isn't ridiculously weak, which is good to know. Moving on, we have Chen Pao, who was recently dropped back from Ubers again. I hope he enjoyed his stay, and he will probably be sent back there shortly, hopefully after Magarna's banned. So, Chen Pao, I mean, most people already know what this Pokemon does. It comes in, it clicks Terra Dark, and it crunches, and it 2-KOs every single mon in the tier. I feel like this Pokemon will be a little bit worse now that we have Pokemon like Magarna and Shifu in the tier, which resisted stab. Although, I mean, it still has Sacred Sword for them. It has Psychic Fangs for Shifu, and it doesn't have anything for Magarna. But I mean, it's still Chen Pao. So I think once Magarna inevitably gets banned again, because I have honestly no doubt in my mind that it will, and now that I've said that, it's not going to get banned and I'm going to look like a clown. But I feel like if Magarna gets banned, if/when, this Pokemon is going to be falling pretty soon after it. Because it didn't get any worse, right? It still comes in, it still clicks Terra Dark, Choice Band, Crunch, and it 2-KOs the entire tier. Plus you have Icicle Crashed for a nice secondary stab. It's Giga Weavile. Like, what do I need to say about Chen Pao? It's Chen Pao. Moving on. We have an Amorous. And I feel like everyone's been talking about the choice specs, the Calm Mind sets for an Amorous, but I feel like Contrary Superpower with Terra Fighting is really funny. Like, I don't know if it's going to be the best, just because of how good this thing's coverage is on the special side, but like, come on man, like, Contrary Superpower on a Fairy Flying type, plus you can Terra Fighting, like, that's just cool, man, like, that's just cool. But I'll talk about the Calm Mind set anyway, because blah blah blah, whatever. Calm Mind, so it has Calm Mind, Moonblast, you have, do you have Hurricane on this? Don't have Hurricane, do you have Air Slash? Oh, you don't have Air Slash. Does this thing even get Flying Stab on the special side? This thing gets no... Damn, what the hell? This thing gets no flying moves. That's stupid. Anyway, you have Earth Power, which honestly, Moonblast Earth Power is just such a ridiculously good coverage that, like, you could run, like, Focus Blast or Mystical Fire, but, like, you don't really need to. You could run, like, Terra Blast, Sludge Bombs, Sight. You have a ton of options, is basically what I'm getting at. But I feel like you could run, like, Calm Mind, Sub. I have to order the moves because I'm OCD head ass. And then we have something that looks like this with preferably not attack investment. You could run Q-Charm, like, if you want. I don't really know what Contrary does for a special set. Maybe for one specific move, which I'll talk about later, that'll be towards the end of the video, so now you have to watch until the end of the video to find out what it is. Moving on, we have Heatran. It's Heatran, what more can I say? We all know what Heatran does. Its special defensive set is obviously very good. I feel like Flesh Flare and Flame Body could be interchangeable this gen, just because there's so many really good physical attackers. Like this Pokemon, if you like Chen Pao crunch it and you get Flame Bodied, obviously that's very good for your team. It did lose out on Toxic this gen. I don't think that's too big of an issue, because it does free up the move slot. Like, Heatran always kind of had 4 move slot syndrome, right? Because it wants to run Stealth Rock, it wants to run, like, Will-O-Wisp, it wanted to run Toxic, it wanted to run, like, Flamethrower or some shit like that, I don't even know. But now, because it doesn't have Toxic, it can kind of pick and choose more. Like, you can run, like, Stealth Rock Will-O-Wisp, you can run Taunt Will-O-Wisp if you want to beat things like Pex. Although, honestly, Pex doesn't even really run Recover anymore, so who the hell knows. By the way, did Pex actually get scalded, or did we get clickbaited? Let's find out. It doesn't... Pex doesn't get scalded. Let's go! Yeah! Fuck you, Toxapex. Get out of here. I hate that mod so much. That shit on my face. Anyway, what is the Heatran? Okay. So, just the usual Heatran, special defensive tank. I have Terra Grass on here, which I think is going to be pretty cool in Heatran. Because if you're running Flash Fire, you can Terra Grass. You're still immune to fire, which is one of Grass's bigger weaknesses, which is nice. Helps you beat other Heatrans. I mean, you pretty much fucking stonewall other Heatrans with this. Honestly, you could run, like, Terra Blast with Terra Grass, if you want. And then you can, like... Honestly, this shit would beat stuff like Great Tusk. Honestly, okay. Hear me out, right? Hear me out. Terra Grass, Eruption... Not Eruption. Fire Blast, Earthquake, Terra Blast, Flamethrower. And then full special attack. Here, what about this? What are we thinking, gamers? What are we thinking about Specs Terra Grass Heatran? I'm thinking that's pretty cool. But obviously the especially defensive set is probably going to be the more used one because it's just so versatile. It's Heatran. I'm so glad Heatran is back. I love this mod. Thank you, Heatran. Heatran is going to save this fucking tier. Hear me out. Like, there's no hear me out. Heatran is going to save this tier from the endless amount of abominable Pokemon that has just been unleashed on us. Heatran is going to be the super glue holding this meta together, just like it always does. God bless you, Heatran. Thank you. Moving on, we have Hoopa Unbound, which is a Pokemon I'm very, very, very glad is back. Because, like, look at this thing's stats, man. This thing is so fucking cool. Oh my god, I love this mon. I'm just gonna be gushing this entire time. Anyway, I feel like Specs is probably gonna be the most common set, just because, like, come on, like, 170 special attack, come on, man. Like, free-ass Dark Pulse, free Psyshocks, free Focus Blast, and then you have Trick in the back. Like, damn, bro, like, come on. And then if you want, you have, like, Nasty Plot, and you can run, like, this, and have Dark Pulse. You can run that. If you don't even want to do that, you can run, like, Dark Pulse. I saw, Pokemon do, like, Endure Slack with Nasty Plot, and that was very funny. That, like, works surprisingly well. You can run something like this. If you want, you can run Choice Band. This is generally my favorite set, with Hyperspace Fury. What moves? Oh shit, this thing gets knockoff. That's pretty cool. Not like you're going to be clicking instead of Hyperspace Fury anyway. What other moves does this thing get? You get like Gunk Shot, you have Ice Punch, you have T-Punch, you have Fire Punch, you have all the Elemental Punches, you have Drain Punch for fighting coverage. So, Hoopa, I mean... I feel like Hoopa can't possibly be bad in an OU metagame. Like, it might drop to UUBL, but it's always going to be, like, functional, right? Just because it's so ridiculously strong. So, this is going to be a fun mon to have back. I'm glad it is. I feel like Terra Dark will probably be best on it, just because spamming Hyperspace Fury and Dark Pulse. But, moving on, we have Lilligant. Now, I don't think Lilligant is going to be too great in OU, but I feel like just because Victory Dance is so funny, I feel like it'll still see some decent use. Because, I mean, it's physical Volcarona with Hustle, right? So you come in, you Victory Dance, and then you're just thrown off, like, honestly, you're thrown off close combats, and that's pretty much it. What's nice is you have, Ice Spinner for coverage against, like, flying types, specifically, because otherwise that walls both your stabs, although I say walls in air quotes, because you're still 105 plus 1 Hustle boosted, so, as long as you land your attacks, which is why I have Light Lens here, I think... times 8, this would bring accuracy of these moves up to 88%, which is fine. I mean, 90% is reliable enough for me. If you want, you could run, like, Lumberry. I feel like that would be a decent set. You could run Life Orb if you just think, more power, you can run Lefties, although I wouldn't. That's about it. You could run Blunder Policy, that would be funny. And then always Sleep Powder is a good option at the back. I feel like if you're running Wide Lens, Sleep Powder could be cool, because you're not getting the Hustle decrease, and you're still getting the Wide Lens increase. So that would be, what's 75 times 1.1? 82. So 82.5% accurate. Oh jeez, that voice crack was so bad. 82.5% accurate Sleep Powder, which is pretty damn reliable for a sleep move. And then moving on, we have Magarna. I hate this mon. Please, can we just get this mon banned already? Like, I don't want to have this mon, like, in the tier for, like, a week. So, yeah, whatever. You have Terra, Fairy... I don't know, man, like, I'm not going to talk about Magarna that much. Like, it's a Magarna. Magarna can literally do anything you want it to do. You could put, like, 4 random-ass moves, a random item, and random EVs in this Magarna, and he would still be one of the best Pokemon in this tier. I'm not kidding. I feel like Choice Specs Floor Cannon, like you come in, you click Terra Fairy, you click Floor Cannon, something dies, which is fair, balanced, fun. As always, you have Shift Gear, Calm Mind, Stored Power, Draining Kiss, that sort of shit. With like leftovers, yeah, whatever. Man, I'm getting fucking bored just talking about Magarna. Can we? We're gonna move on. I don't care about Magarna. You can run as Holdfast too. I'm not talking about this one anymore. Next we have Galarian Moltres. This Pokemon was really good on like screens offense last generation, and I feel like it'll be pretty good too, just because Flying Dark has pretty good coverage in the tier right now. Because Dark Pulse is pretty unresisted, and then you have Hurricane for like fighting types. And you could run a couple different moves with this. You could run like my personal favorite on screens is like Nasty Plot Rest, because you get down into Berserk and then you rest up and then you're super Giga Strong. If you want, you could run Agility and then you can run Boots with this. So you have some pretty good options. This is pretty much always the EV spread you're going to be running though, and I can't imagine you're running any other attacking move. Is there anything you'd really want to run? Nah, I don't think so. I feel like everyone knows what Moltres does, so we'll move on. Now, Regieleki is getting a lot of love, but Regidrago is not, and I feel like that's a crime. This Pokemon actually got ridiculously buffed because they gave it Earth Power. Basically, Steel types are gone. And you can, like, Terra Blast if you want to hit Fairy super effectively. You can Terra Blast, like, Steel or Poison. I know the Ranbat set sometimes runs Terra Steel. Or you could just run Terra Dragon and Dragon Energy and fucking kill something. Like, instantly something dies, something gets sent to the fucking Shadow Realm. Like, we're talking like 300% damage unless you're a Blissey and then you're still taking like 70. Like, this is a damn strong Pokemon. And I feel like we forgot about it just because of this base 80 speed. Do not let this fool you. This Pokemon is very strong. And I feel like another set it can run is Dragonance. Because it now can run like Dragonance, Outrage. It has Earthquake. And it has like Ice Fang, Fire Fang. You could run like whatever the hell you want. You can run like Wham. You could run, if you want, you could run goddamn Dragon Fang on this shit, and it'd still be good. And then once again, you can run like Terra Steel, run like Terra Fairy if you want to be immune to other dragons, Terra Poison, that stuff. And then you can run Terra Blast in the last slot, and boom. I feel like this is a good set if you want to do that. You can run we're Steel, alphabetical order. I forget how that works. So yeah, don't sleep on Regidrago. This mon's gonna be really good. I feel like this might end up in UU, and I feel like it'll be really freaking good there if it does. Moving on to Regieleki. Now the question is Regieleki gonna get banned because it has Terra Blast Ice? And the answer is, I don't know, honestly. We'll have to see. Personally, I feel like it will. I feel like this is gonna be ban-worthy Pokemon. Just because it's so damn fast, it's so damn strong, and the fact is, you don't have to fucking even Terra Ice to be checking your, the ground types. Because you come in, like, if you bring this in on a Electric Weak Pokemon and you just click Terra Blast normal, if you bring in your like, offensive Great Tusk, you're taking half. You're getting 2 KO'd by that shit. Like, there is no switching in safely to this, even with just, like, regular-ass, non-Terra Terra Blast. And then Terra Ice just, like, amps it up to a new level. So, I think this Pokemon is going to be very good, if not ban-worthy. I personally think this Pokemon is going to end up being banned, although I'm glad to see that they're suspecting it. Moving on, we have Samurott. Now, Samurot's a cool mon because Sharpness. Sharpness is the Pokemon. So, Razor Shell is nice. This gets boosted to, like, 112, I want to say. Plus, then you get the 50% defense drop, so this is, like, practically impossible to switch into. And then you have your like 90-something base power move that sets up spikes, which is crazy. And then you have your like 130 base power Sacred Sword, and then you have priority on Aqua Jet. You can run fucking, like, you can run X-Scissor if you want. That gets boosted by Sharpness for some reason. You could run Aerial. Does this get Aerial Ace? Why does it get Aerial Ace? This gets... Why is this mon going in the air? Okay, if for some reason there's a grass type that you really just want to beat, for some reason you can tack on Aerial Ace and you have a 90 base power, non-accuracy checking move for those. So if Amoonguss ever gets too good, I guess you could do that. I feel like this Pokemon's going to be really cool also with a Sword Sand set. Just because their stats are so high-powered, and they have just such good secondary effects. Like, I can't emphasize enough how good having a 90 base power move that sets up spikes is. Like, even if you want, you could run like Sash Elite on this, and just click Cecil Sedge twice, get up 2 layers of spikes, and then do good chip in the back. Like, that's honestly really good. I can see that being optimal. Even if you want to just run this. Like, I don't even know what item I ran it. Oh, it was, Choice Band. So Samprot, I feel like this is a Pokemon also not to sleep on. This Pokemon's going to be really damn good, I think. The only problem is that its stats are a little lacking. It's a little bit slow. 108 attack is good, but then its defenses are just okay. Like 90 base HP and 80 defense is pretty solid, but then the 65 Spit F is not looking too good. So I feel like this could be a really damn good Pokemon in OU, mostly due to Cecil Sedge, although Razor Shell is definitely important for helping you to get there too, just because 50% defense drop, like, trying to switch into that, like, Choice Banded, like, you switch in, you're already taking, like, 30 on a resisted attack, and then you get your defense dropped. Like, damn, that's a hard move to switch into. Alright, my voice was going out, so I took a break. Moving on, we have Slowking. Now, Slowking is going to be cool this generation because of 2 new moves I got, which are T-Spikes and Chilly Reception. T-Spikes, of course, is T-Spikes, like, what more is there to say? It's like T-Spikes, man, come on. And then Chilly Reception is the teleport that it never had? Did it have? I don't even know if it had teleport or if it just didn't run it. But anyway, it is practically teleport now due to Chilly Reception. Still has Regenerator, still has Leftovers. I have Psychic and 60 special attack on here just because it always one-hit KOs, offensive Great Tusk. So, it would be funny, you know, your opponent's like, oh, look, a ground weak Pokemon. Time to switch in my Great Tusk, and then they die. So, that's a silly one. I don't really know what else I have to say about Galarian Slowking. We all know what this Pokemon does. You could run like Terra Water, Terra Fairy. Having Terra on this Pokemon is really helpful just because blah 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 blah, whatever, defensive Terra. Anyway, moving on, we have Sneezler. I feel like the biggest benefit Sneezler has is Dire Claw. Just because it's the Giga status move, because you have the 50% chance to do all this bullshit, and then you have Poison Touch in the back, and then you have Poison Touch Close Combat and Poison Touch U-Turn. Poison Touch U-Turn is so evil. That is genuinely one of the most evil things I can possibly imagine, is Poison Touch U-Turn. Because you get free momentum, because this Pokemon is so damn fast. Like 120 speed, that's fast as shit. And then whatever your opponent brings in it as a imagine bringing your damn Lando T and on the Sneasler being like, aha, I have you hardballed, and then they U-turn poison you. That's mean. That's evil. That's rude. And then you have Switch Root, Cripplemons like Dondozo that want to switch into you. If you want a cool set also to run on this would be like Sword Dance, Close Combat, Acro, and Gunk Shot. And what you could do is get in your SD or USD, or go for Close Combat, get your White Herb activated, and then you have Unburdened Terra Fly Aggro. That's a pretty cool set. So basically, you turn into Hawlucha, but with actual good stats. Which, if Hawlucha was doing all that with its poo-poo dookie-ass stats, imagine what this mon could do with 130 base attack and Terra Fly. You know, just saying. Or if you want to bring this mon in like, terrain is kind of not back. If you want to run this with, like, Electric Seed, I don't know. I mean, we don't have Coco, but, I mean, that could still potentially be cool, I guess. So basically, this mon could be, either Giga Troll, haha, I Poison Touch, you turned you, or it could be, better Hawlucha, if you want it to be. So, moving on, we have Tauren. And yes, I have Tornadus, regular Incarnate, is that what they call it? Yeah, Tornadus Incarnate, and not Tornadus Therian, because Therian got nerfed to shit. That shit doesn't have fucking knockoff. I don't think it has superpower. I don't think it has, it doesn't have defog. So basically there's no reason you'd ever want to use that. And in the great words of either Pokemon or Blunder, I don't know which one it is. If this Pokemon always hits Hurricane, it wins, and it's broken. So now it has a better, slightly lower power but more accurate version of Hurricane in Bleak Windstorm, which also has the 30% chance to lower speed. Now this is going to be really good on Tornadus Incarnate just because it's a little bit stronger on the special attack side. So you come in, you get your nasty plot, you can prankster taunt if you want, that's cool. You can do a bunch of stuff with prankster. You can prankster like Tailwind. Sorry, acid reflux. And you can Tailwind, you can boost your speed. You can go for a nasty plot, and then, yeah, you just click your funny Bleak Wind Storm, and you have Heat Wave for Pokemon like Corv, and honestly, I don't even know. You're basically just clicking Bleak Wind Storm with this mon. You could run like Terra Blast, Terra Ice, and do I have anything else to say about Tauren? I don't think so. This Pokemon gets Icy Wind, I didn't know that. Extra Sensory. You could run a couple cool moves on this. You can run like Grass Knot. You have Focus Blast. You have Chilling Water. I mean, you're not clicking that, but you have like Extra Sensory for Packs. Oh, well, you have Psychic too, which is better. You got Sludge Bomb. You got a lot of good moves on this Pokemon, which is cool. So I feel like Tornadus Therian is actually eating pretty good. Not Therian. Tornadus Incarnate is eating pretty good. Tornadus Therian is eating trash and poop. That we don't care about that Pokemon. Moving on, we have Ursa Luna. Now this is a really interesting looking set because I only have the 2 stabs on this. And you know why? It's because you don't need Fire Punch. You don't need Thunder Punch. The only thing you're clicking with this Pokemon is Facade and sometimes Earthquake or Headlong Rush. So I feel like running Protect and Swords Dance might be honestly pretty damn good for this mon. Because it gives you the option to come in and Protect to get your Flame Orb for free, or you can SD on the Switch or something. So you have basically the best of both worlds, and then you're still clicking your Terra Normal Facades, which, I mean, need I remind all you gentlemen out there that SD, okay, +2 Burnt Guts Terra Normal Facade, 1-hit KOs cleanly Defensive Corviknight. Not even after rocks. Like, it does over 100%. It might be after rocks, actually, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. Just know this Pokemon is damn strong. I mean, Pokemon already has a video about it. This Pokemon's strong as shit. If you want to run, like, Trick Room, that'd be cool, too, because you could run, like, 0, you can run Minus Nature. Like, Max HP. And then you can run... I feel like if you're going to run a Trick Room set, then Headlong Rush is just better, just because you want to be instantly killing Pokemon. And then you don't want to Protect, so you could run, like, Swords Dance, Headlong Rush, Facade, and, like, Fire Punch. Although, realistically, you're not clicking Fire Punch, right? You're clicking fucking Terra Normal with +2 Guts Boosted Stab Facade. Like, that's what this Pokemon does. It comes in, it clicks Facade, something dies. So yeah, cool mon. Like it, gonna use it. Moving on, we have our Shifu Rapid Strike, which got 2 new pretty fun buffs this gen. One, it gets Swords Dance, which, I mean, it's Swords Dance on our Shifu. This is gonna be potentially broken. I don't think ban-worthy broken, but I feel like just good broken. Like, broken in the sense of, like, damn, that mon's strong. And then it also has a upgrade to Protective Pads with Punching Glove. Like, this move, or this item is literally just Protective Pads, except it gives you an extra boost on top of that. So, I feel like a set of, like, Swords Dance, you could run, if you want to run Close Combat over Range Punch, just for the power, that's good. And then you have Surging Strikes, which is boosted by Punching Glove. So non-contact, doesn't make contact with Rocky Helmet, which is our Shifu's biggest nightmare, and then you get an extra little tiny +1 boost on top of it. Or not +1, 1.1 boost. And then you can run, like, Thunder Plunge, you can run Ice Punch. I mean, Ice Punch, if you're running Punching Glove, Ice Punch is just better, but other than that, you can run Ice Spinner. Any other fun things this mon gets? It still has Jab, but Tapu Fini doesn't exist. It gets Trailblaze, but what the hell, Trailblaze is dog shit, I don't know why people use it. Still has U-Turn, still has, like, Zen Headbutt for packs, but you can run T-Punch. So yeah, what else do I have to say about this Pokemon? I don't know if I have anything else to say about this Pokemon. SD, you have Punching Glove, you can still run, like, Scarf. I know Scarf was one of my favorite sets to run last gen, and yeah, Urshifu Rapid Strike. Now moving on to Zamazunta and Zamazunta Crown, which are both OU, which is really sad. Man, this mon sucks. Okay, here's the thing about Zamazunta. At least for Zamazunta Normal, this mon is deceptively fast. Like, this is like almost Dragapult levels of speed. Do not get it twisted, this mon is very speedy. You will be outsped by this Pokemon if you have anything other than a Regieleki, Dragapult, or fucking, like, Electrode. you will be outsped. And I mean, this Pokemon's decently strong too. Like, base 120 attack is good. And then you have Close Combat, which is obviously a great stab. Heavy Slammed at Fairies, you have like Psychic Fangs for Pex, Crunch for Ghost types. I feel like, honestly, Zamazunta Crown won't be broken. Or not Zamazunta Crown. Crown might be broken. I feel like normal Zamazunta won't be broken. I feel like it'll just be good. Like, maybe like A+, maybe S tier. Because obviously this Pokemon also has like ridiculously good bulk. I feel like I might have to factor that in, because when I think about if this Pokemon's going to be broken or not, usually I think about like speed, attack, and moveset, right? But you also have to consider that this Pokemon has 115 in each defense, 92 base HP, and an ability that boosts its defense one stage. Although it did get nerfed, obviously. So, will this mon be broken? I think only time will tell. I honestly think, in my personal opinion, that I don't think it will. I think it'll just be good. What I think will be broken is Zamazunta Crown, just because, like, holy stat change. It's so much bulkier. Like, you go to 100, you get 35 in both your defenses at the, like, extent of 10 speed, but, like, whatever. And now we want to talk about the Iron Defense sub Body Press set, because you come in, you set up Iron Defense, literally nothing can kill you from that point on the physical end, except for, like, Sacred Sword for something. Gallade Sacred Sword comes in and Okos you. But then, I don't know. But this Pokemon is really strong with Iron Defense because they finally gave it goddamn Body Press, which is what he's hoping for forever. It does have Howl, but I feel like that's a trash move, and if you're going to run an offensive set, just run like Choice Band or regular Zamazenta, and then you can run Iron Defense on this guy. I feel like these are the two options. You have Heavy Slam for like Fairies and Ghost types. But other than that, you're mainly clicking Iron Defense, you can sub up on things, and then you got Body Press. Another option for this is you can run Rest. Not Rust, you could run Rest in the back, just to get that HP back. I feel like this set might be ban-worthy. Once again, only time will tell though. I feel like Zamazenta's biggest issue in this form is that it's so goddamn fast. And I feel like this version is just so bulky, and once it gets up in Iron Defense, you just can't kill it with a physical attack. So, once again, time will tell. Moving on to Zapdos. Now, Zapdos did lose Defog, which means its defensive set is pretty much dog shit now. Although what it does have is an offensive set. And honestly, I don't have anything more to say about that. I just want to say, like, offensive Zapdos, you know, it's pretty cool. You can, like, Terra Blast Ice, I guess. You can like, do that. You can be, like, Regieleki, but worse. Wow, that's cool. That's a set you can run. You can run, like, U-turn. Yeah, whatever. Moving on to Galarian Zapdos. It's back. Close Combat, Brave Bird, Thunderous Kick, U-turn. It did lose Throat Chop and Blaze Kick, but whatever. This Pokemon's good. Moving on to Zarude. We have a bunch of new buffs on this guy. I talked about this in a previous video. But you have SD now, you have Crunch for a better Dark Stab, and you have Close Combat, which, like, and then you have Synthesis too. So, once again, this Pokemon has 105 speed, 120 attack. It now has Swords Dance, which is honestly the biggest buff it possibly could ask for, because, like, before it was just too weak. That was its biggest issue. Like, if you're running a Scarf on it, like, 120 attack isn't all it's cracked up to be anymore. Especially because previously, like, your best Dark Stab was friggin' Darkest Lariat, which, like, you did have Power Whip, you still do have, like, U-turn and stuff like that, but I feel like SD is going to be the best set. You can run Synthesis if you want, you can run Close Combat, you can still run Jungle Healing if you want, that could be cool. You can run Jungle Healing with, like, a leftover set, that'd be cool. So, I feel like Zarude might be useful in, like, I guess UU again now, baby OU, I doubt it though. And anyway, that's all I have for this video, blah, blah, blah. Make sure to subscribe. Boom. Dude, my voice is so tired, oh my god, you can hear it, like, actually cracking. I'm gonna end the video there, hope you enjoyed, boom.